World War I lasted about a year and a half. World War II, 3.7 years. Vietnam, 17. And the current crisis in Iraq and Afghanistan, about 13 years. Yet all of these combined don't equal the length of the current ongoing war, the war on drugs. Don't get me wrong, drugs are an issue, not only in our society, but spread around the world that spreads pain, addiction, and up to death. But the way we have gone about it has been terribly wrong, and we are actually working backwards on solving the issue as almost no positive progress has been made. Since Nixon back in 1971 addressed we as a country had a drug problem and it was public enemy number one, instead have only increased our country's debt and incarcerated all offenders without dealing with the other issue he proclaimed in his speech, which was the prevention of new addicts and the rehabilitation of those who are addicted. The war on drugs is a war on people that actually causes more damage to the individual than the drug itself. Since then, fighting against drug use has increased dramatically, and the statistics show, according to the Bureau of Justice Statistics, in 2008 there were approximately 1.8 million arrests due to possession alone, and approximately 350,000 for sales and manufacture. Additionally, according to the Federal Bureau of Prisons, 48.8% of all inmates are in because of drug-related offenses alone. That's almost half. And if you spent any time watching TV, you've heard about the overpopulation of prisons in America and how we lead the world in prisoners per capita. It costs us taxpayers approximately $51 billion annually to fight the drug war, which includes arrests, prosecutions, and the incarcerations. In 2009, it was approximated that housing one prisoner annually is about $22,000, over $2 billion for all drug-related prisoners combined. Let's talk a bit again about how 4/5 of those arrests are simply for possession. According to FAM.org, possession carry many mandatory minimum sentences ranging from 1 year up to life. Now, if we look back to when we were 18, we probably did something we regret. That was stupid and illegal. But imagine one simple mistake for a teen could land them in jail for the rest of their lives. What a waste of a young person's life instead of helping them treat the problem. Drug use is treated as a crime with almost no black and white area instead of what it could actually be, an addiction. Instead of offering treatment, education, and knowledge, they are thrown in jail where for the rest of their lives they are considered druggies, felons, criminals, or inmates, and future job opportunities could be lost. Let's talk a bit about what can be causing the rise in the problem. Since drugs are considered such a huge crime, not enough seek help for fear or reprisal, or not having the knowledge on how to get it. They do it in hiding until they eventually commit a crime or continue their habit or end up incarcerated. Let's take a look at an example taken by Portugal. They have taken a step in combating drug addiction. In 2001, they legalized all drugs, and those caught were not accused of committing a serious crime, but instead went in front of a board who counseled them and offered rehabilitation treatment, as they knew treating is far less expensive than incarcerating them. Through time, the statistics show that drug use was cut dramatically throughout the country, through all walks of life, from teenagers to adults, by the spread of knowledge and the help they offered. Einstein is credited with saying, "The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, but expecting different results." Since 1971, drug use has risen. The amount spent to combat it has also, and the number of inmates have skyrocketed. It's time to accept that a different approach is required for change to happen. So let me give some proposed solutions that could help. As previously stated, the war on drugs is a war on people that actually causes more damage to the individual than the drug itself. But by implementing measures already taken elsewhere, there could be positive change by following in the footsteps of some European countries and decriminalizing nonviolent drug offenses instead offering treatment. Also, the control and distribution of drugs similar to that of alcohol and tobacco can help in 4 ways. Number 1, cut down the extreme violence in Mexico and South American countries, where their primary source of income comes from distribution of their products here in America, resulting in drug wars and unnecessary death throughout the world. Also, radically reducing the price of such commodity as there will no longer be an illegal black market for them. Number 2, checking and testing for purity and consistency will help stop deaths due to impure, inconsistent, or mixed or manufactured drugs. Number 3, taxing it would add a huge source of income to our $17 trillion economic debt And as seen with the current legalization of marijuana in some states, Colorado, for example, they bring in approximately $8 million per month alone only on marijuana. Number four, and finally, offering treatment to all those who require it without reprisal, without a cost, and with no shame involved. By incorporating this method, we not only make an impact here, but it will resonate through countless countries who are affected by their drug use and saving countless lives. America has always been looked at for guidance, and this could just be one more thing we put our foot in. With the amount of income and revenue made, imagine what we could put it to use. Instead of investing thousands on prisons, we could put it into the education system, catch up where we're falling behind compared to the rest of the world, offer free college education, and continue the advancement of our children and that of the human race. Just as the same as alcohol and tobacco are legal, and as adults we deserve to have free will and a right to choose what we do or do not consume. With proper education and facts, we will have the knowledge to invest in what we think is proper for us. Instead of hiding in a dark alley, jumping in a stranger's car at odd hours of the night, and putting ourselves in risk and danger. It has been proven effective in other countries, and we may not be open to the idea of radical change, as it is mostly unheard of through the media, but small steps and the spreading idea could have a huge impact. So I'll end this speech just by saying, dealing with drug use has been hit from left to right and becoming harsher and harsher on the users, tumbling us into a spiral of debt, addicts, and prisoners. The steps we've taken have not worked, so I challenge you to not just take my word, but research for yourself the facts and idea of decriminalizing so we can stop this endless, ineffective war on drugs and a war on people. Thank you for your time and consideration.